school writers that will get mad at this new commissioner if he allows this to happen, which is stupid.
You know what I say? No Kevin Johnson until Pete Rose.
Whoa. Damn it, let Pete Rose in! Is that why he hasn't made the Hall of Fame?
That is why.
That has to be the only reason why.
Yeah, they go hand in hand together.
I'll bet you Pete Rose makes it before Kevin Johnson.
I bet you're right.
He needs to.
I'd say he does.
I'll even say that. Kevin Johnson for mayor Hall of Fame, for sure.
For running the shittiest town in California.
He kept the sports team in the shittiest town in California.
Woo! That's all he's done.
Impressive.
Take a walk down Sacramento.
Hey, man.
That's depressing.
That is true.
That is wild.
I went there for a concert, and I wish I hadn't.
I was there for a weekend, and I almost slipped my wrist 3 times. Just when I landed.
What is there to do? Oh, kill myself.
Right.
Let's try that now.
Yeah. The most exciting part of the trip was when somebody pulled the fire alarm. Seriously.
It's the only place where there's water.
It was great. I was on the top floor, like literally the top floor, and we were drinking a lot.
Tippy top?
Yeah. And so everyone's like, oh, fire alarm. I was like, you guys, someone just fucking pull. I'm going to take my chances and sit right here. Like, no, you got to come. I was like, fine. So I went down about 2 floors. And I was like, fuck this. I had a glass of wine in my hand. Took the fucking elevator. And then when I got down the elevator, the lady friend and her family was just coming down the stairs. And she sees, like, the stairs were directly across from the elevator. So I walk out the elevator just as she's hitting the bottom step. She's, what did you do? I was like, not what you stupids did. She's like, why'd you take the elevator? I was like, do you smell smoke?
But,
well, no.
Think about it. If you're in an elevator, you're just as trapped as if you're in a staircase.
And I was the only one there.
Right. Exactly.
There was none of this, like the building fell on me and I was pinned against some big, fat white guy.
Right.
None of that. By myself.
With
if the
your drink in hand.
building fell, I had my drink and I could have jerked off for days.
You know, if they don't want you using the elevator when there's a fire, they shouldn't allow it to operate when there's a fire.
Right. Cut the power, bitches.
It should be disengaged when the fire alarm
When I used to work in high rises in downtown LA, there was an earthquake. It was pretty decent. It was like 5 something. Took the elevator. Building hasn't fallen yet.
Like, this thing's on wire. We're okay.
We're
It'll
good.
swing with the earthquake. We're good.
If it's able to stop at my floor, it'll stop at the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. So,
earthquake's happening everywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop here.
They got codes here in California for that shit. And finally, in baseball news, back to that. Josh Hamilton has filed for divorce from his wife. Smartest thing he ever did.
Oh, wow.
Much smarter than self-reporting your cocaine, dumbass.
This is why he took the cocaine. His
Yeah.
wife's a fucking cunt.
I wonder if he's blaming it on her.
Well, he's telling her he can't even drive his car. So
Well, she's telling him you can't come to any of the houses you paid for.
he's like, see these houses you pay for? Fuck you, get the fuck out of all of them.
Literally, there's 4 of his houses he can't go to. It's like,
So
how many is she
stupid.
living in at once?
How many does she need?
She's a fucking woman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How many fucking tampons you need up your twat, bitch?
These houses you paid for are mine.
Right, exactly. Luckily for him, this is the one good point about this. He's in Texas. He lives in Texas.
He's getting a divorce.
Main with that too.
Oh.
That's the first good point.
Good job,
His main
Josh.
residence is in Texas, so it's not that bullshit California law where he's going to lose everything and his anal virginity along the way. So hopefully he's got a chance at saving the things he paid for.
Good.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Poor Joshy. Hey, you know what, buddy? Josh, if you're listening, let me just say this. If you ever need to go out for a drink, you just let me know.
Oh, yeah. Give us a call.
And we'll Uber your dad.
That's
right.
We've got an Uber driver
That's
and a
right.
shit ton of beer for
That's
it.
right. And I'll be drinking right with you.
That's right. And if you need some Coke, I'm sure we can find that
we'll
too.
find some.
You know what? That is a kind of a loophole, is that you really, if you Uber someone that you know, you can take the trip technically for free because he's getting paid whatever. You're paying like what, the 25 cents on the dollar to Uber?
I don't know where this is going.
Think about it. If you know someone that Ubers, you take the Uber that they have, you go with them, they're getting paid that, so they give the money back to you for taking the Uber.
Wait,
you
what?
give them some gas
Give
money
you
for
what?
taking you,
I don't know.
but you're only paying a little bit
back.
You don't.
Why
know
don't you
what I'm
just
talking
call him and say, "Hey, man, I'll give you $20 to take me to the airport"?
Oh, wow. No, you have to pull up Uber and I'll engage it. You might get me, you might get someone else, but we'll try.
I know we might be spending too much time talking about this.
You are 100% correct. So I'm going to spend the next 20 seconds talking about Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you Uber on Amazon?
No.
Oh, damn
God
it.
damn it. Almost. You guys need to do some shopping on Amazon, which I know you all do. Go to thecharitystrike.com, click on the Amazon banner right there at the bottom of the homepage. Will not cost you anything extra. Same great savings. One little extra step keeps the show free for us. And if you're like Mike and you're lazy as fuck and that's too much work for you, just go to amazon.thecharitystrike.com. He's nodding because he knows what's
Good with
up.
my fingers.
Are you?
Yeah.
On men?
anybody.
And Amazon. Yeah, that's right.
Amazonians.
Yeah.
Like China.
Amazon men
Yeah.
like China. Yeah, men like China. Yeah, she's got a bigger dick than I do.
That's right.
Once again, Amazon.thecharitystrike.com. Please and thank you.
Love basketball, you love basketball, then say yeah. Yeah. I love basketball, you love basketball, then say
Oh, it's playoff time.
Speaking of which, we're in the third quarter of the Pelicans Golden State game. Real quick update, 57-52 Golden State at the very beginning of the third quarter right now.
Third quarter, is that what you said?
Third quarter.
All right. They got this.
Pelicans had the lead going into halftime until the last minute, and then Golden State turned it on. So
You know, I had a discussion with a very nice bartender in Vegas this week, or actually last week. We were talking about basketball in the playoffs, and I said the Golden State Warriors are going to go all the way if they can hold their cool. Their whole thing about winning is they're very calm and cool, and they have a good time. But when they hit the playoffs, we saw last year, they get a little flustered.
you know what my theory is? If Andrew Bogut stays healthy, he's been healthy this year.
Good ruck
and
on
look
that.
how good they are.
Yeah.
Good ruck on that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pelicans are a pretty good team, but they're not Warriors good. But
They're good for an eighth seed.
But they're acting like they're Warriors good.
Yeah. Well, Anthony Davis is fantastic.
Yeah, one hell of an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Just one.
He plays up to the level of his eyebrow, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the Warriors need to calm down, and I think they got this. They'll probably lose one in Nolans, and I think they'll take it in 5.
Yeah, Anthony Davis will have a breakout game in game 3 or 4, and they'll lose one. But then
I think once they lose one, they'll go, oh shit.
I think what Golden State needs the most is for the Clippers to actually put out the Spurs in that series, because the Spurs to me are the only team that can really beat up the Warriors. They can slow that game down. They're much bigger. They can kind of make it their own type of series at that point.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think the Spurs are going to be the biggest hurdle for anybody. Clippers, Warriors, whoever.
Yep.
But here's what's going on the West Coast. I mean, why even talk about the East Coast?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about all of them. So Wizards 1-0 over the Raptors at this point.
Wizards look good, too.
They did look pretty good, surprisingly. The Warriors, at this point 1-0 over the Pelicans. The Bulls beat Milwaukee tonight. They're 2-0. And
Bulls look really good.
Yeah, and the Rockets 1-0 over Dallas.
That's going to be a good series. It was a good game the other day. So.
The Texas series? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I only got to watch the Saturday games, which was Warriors, Pelicans, and Bulls, Bucks. Good games.
Yeah.
Especially Warriors. Warriors got a little dicey towards the
they let them come back.
there.
Well,
yeah.
Anthony Davis blew up in the fourth quarter. 20 points in the fourth quarter. So
yeah,
he kind of brought him back there.
Luckily, they had such a lead that even though they got wildly outscored in the fourth quarter, they still
won the game.
Yeah, it's a good game though. The West is really the only thing worth watching right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor Portland, man. They seem depleted as they're down 1-0 against Memphis at this point. So
yeah, it's bad. It's not looking good.
No, they're the 4 seed, but because Memphis had a better record, Memphis gets the home court advantage.
Home field.
So.
Yeah. Also, we got Celtics and Cavs. Cavs are up 1-0.
Fucking Celtics that got rid of their team made the playoffs.
Got rid of their team?
Yeah, they traded everybody.
Oh, and still made the
during
playoffs?
season. They made the playoffs.
Yeah, they tried to tank and couldn't do it.
Isaiah Thomas,
but then
man.
they picked up Isaiah Thomas.
And then some white dude that's fucking badass on their team too.
Quite honestly, we'll get to this.
Olenek, I think.
We'll get to this in a second. Quite honestly, I'm surprised Isaiah Thomas not 6th man of the year.
Yeah, I think it's because he went to Boston more than halfway through the season.
I guess.
If he had been there the whole season,
around.
yeah. But, Lou Williams did a great job for Toronto, too. So.
Yeah. Hawks 1-0 over the Nets. Grizz.
Hawks are going to kill the Nets. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
The Hawks are good.
Nets suck.
Yeah, Nets suck and the Hawks are fantastic.
They're only in there because it's the East Coast.
That's right. The Hawks are the Spurs of the East. They play great team basketball.
Did you actually hear what Lionel Hollins said? When a reporter asked him,
he doesn't believe in his team.
Yeah, he said, "Do you think something about?
Do you have any advantages over?
Yeah, is there any
Atlanta at all?"
advantages over Atlanta?" He says,
No.
none I can think of."
It's like there's a reason they're number 1 and we're number 8.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least he's honest.
There's a reason we're
Hey,
under 500 and they're the best.
We're just
team
here
in
for the
East.
ride.
Lionel Hollins, the Black Popovich.
You know what? I think that's him calling out Darren Williams, though. The guy with
probably.
the point guard with the biggest size.
His name's Deron,
advantage.
thank you.
Oh, sorry. Deron
That's right.
Williams.
Yes. Where was I? Grizz lead series 1-0 over Portland, and Clippers 1-0 over the Spurs. They beat the Spurs yesterday, 107-92. It's a little surprising.
Which is funny because Doc Rivers was bitching about the seeding thing.
Yeah.
How that they shouldn't be playing the Spurs.
We shouldn't be playing the Spurs. People power.
You know what? I will believe in Doc Rivers as a coach if they can beat up the Spurs. They did yesterday.
Yeah,
they
one
looked
game.
great yesterday. That's
Spurs
one game.
really played
the Spurs looked terrible.
They played
It was
bad.
the Spurs looking bad, not the Clippers looking good.
But the thing is if they can do that again the next couple games, then I will believe in Doc as a coach. But right now, I still don't believe him as a coach.
Yeah,
before the playoffs even started, he's making excuses for his team losing to the Spurs.
He's
already.
Doc Rivers. That's all he does is make excuses for the losses. I heard the best thing on the radio today, Max Kellerman saying the Clippers. First of all, I love how bad Max fucking just eats up the Clippers.
Yeah,
he's a Laker fan.
He's like me. He knows the fucking shit that they should be way better than they are. Is what it is.
No, because he hates Clippers.
Well, none of that,
He's a
but
Laker
because
fan.
they should be way better than they are.
Well, that too. What he said though was correct. The Clippers played as good as they could fucking play on Sunday. That was the best game.
They could have had their best game.
That could be the best game they ever had. Here's the thing. That is by far not the best game the Spurs could have had.
Did you guys watch Popovich's post-game interview?
No.
They were asking him shitty questions again, like repeating the same things over. He's like, how many times do I have to answer that question? Like, how long do you... He's like, how about this? Let me answer a statement. Let me make a statement for you. He's like, their defense was better than our offense. And that he basically just used that as like a 1-minute speech, and then he was done. He's like, let me just answer what you guys want to hear.
Was that enough time for you to jerk off?
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop, everybody. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Clippers, I think, because that's, like I said, the best game they could have had.
And the Spurs played a horrible game.
Right.
And had the Spurs went on any type of run, they could have been right back in the game.
They're not going to play two bad games in a row.
No, I mean, they got the best coach in the league right now.
That's right. Daniel just texted us at 805-419-3677.
Oh, the guy that fucked up my fucking stand over here?
Wow. You might want to have some words with him. He says, in Doc Rivers' voice, Mijo, I'm giving you too many minutes in the playoffs, Mijo. Agreed.
Austin Rivers, yeah.
Yes. What else? Pelicans, Tyreek Evans. Did he play tonight? I don't know.
I think he's in the game tonight.
Is he? I was going to look that up. He bruised his knee and was questionable for tonight. So
let me tell you how many minutes he's played, though.
3 minutes. You looked that up. I'm going to talk about D.
No,
Rose.
he's played 23 minutes at this point, and they're barely in the third quarter, so he's playing a lot. But I must say, the Golden State's starting to pull away. It's 64-55 right now. About
that's
half,
more accurate.
A little bit over halfway through, or less than halfway through the game.
Wow, that was really hard, wasn't it?
The quarter now.
You can just give us
I'm trying to do
minutes.
the math as I say it. So.
Don't hurt yourself. Just give us the
A little
minutes.
over half or a little less than half.
Yeah, within a couple minutes, either way of being half.
A little less or a little bit more, depending on how you look at it.
Give or take about 60 minutes.
Yeah, D. Rose had his first playoff game, I think, ever the other day. Ever, probably.
And now he's out.
Yeah, and he blew his ACL and MCL on both legs, actually. And he blew a couple of T1 and T2 spinal.
Doing that on the
Yeah,
warm-up
things.
bike, too. He wasn't even in the game at the time.
Yeah, he scored 23 the other night, had another good game tonight. No blown knees.
Yeah, and he's dunking the ball and everything.
Yeah. Tim
Are
dunking that ball.
I think we talked about it earlier. We both get scared whenever he jumps. We're like,
I don't get
he's
scared.
He's going to go.
I mean, I expect it to happen, and
Yeah.
I am delightfully waiting.
I watched the kneecap to see if it moves at all as he's jumping.
Yeah, every time he jumps, this is what I say in my head.
Here we go.
Because it's going to get good. I kind of hinted to this earlier. Raptors GM, Masai Ujiri, who sounds like a Japanese wrestler.
This is the guy that got in trouble like a couple years ago for
Last year.
saying shit in the parade. He like said some shit, right?
Fuck the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
This year he's back at it, and he's getting fined $35,000 plus another $25,000 to the team because his response to Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce talking about the Raptors just not having the it factor, that one star that could really take him to the next level. Well, here's Mishineko Tanaka's response.
Mishineko driver.
Let's go Raptors! Fuck Paul Pierce! Let's go Raptors! Fuck Paul Pierce!
First of all, is this Cena chant going to take over everywhere or whatever?
I know.
Let's go Cena! Fuck John Cena!
Fuck Paul Pierce.
Yeah, here's the rest.